Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First, for Dallas, Calderon is out there with Ellis. And it's Samuel Dalembert manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the four-man position. And looking at the Grizzlies, Conley and Allen are the guard set. And at the center position, an impressive combination of size and skill. The 7'1" Spaniard, Marc Gasol. Then there's Tayshaun Prince, and it's Randolph in at the four spot.
Well, in many ways, the Grizzlies aren't like most teams out west. They don't try to overpower you with offense, and they don't have a superstar to lean on for big baskets at the end, but they still know how to get wins in the tough Western Conference. And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game, you know, getting the ball inside early.
Well, it worked to perfection there. I like the game plan. Get it inside, force the defense to react, and then play off your big man.
Allen for three. No good. Now Dallas takes it the other way. And when they did last year, Memphis would go 56-26 overall. And Steve, with 34 of those wins courtesy of other teams in the Western Conference.
Well, they didn't seem to play like a lot of the other teams in the West, but it didn't matter. I mean, defense, toughness, rebounding, they were who they were. They established their identity, and that's one of the reasons they became such a tough team in that conference.
And the Mavericks call time here. Calderon against Conley. And Calderon gets it to go on the assist by Dalembert.
Broke out the finger roll, guys. That was kind of a stylish finish.
Jose Calderon out of Spain is a terrific playmaker and shooter. He's not a guy who's going to put up big numbers, but you give him the keys to your offense, and he's going to make a lot of good things happen for you.
Memphis has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Conley kicks to Randolph. 1:57 left here in the first quarter. Prince dishes to Allen. Shot clock at 5. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And going back to Calderon, as good as he is offensively, Steve, you have to manage his matchups defensively.
Yeah, especially in today's NBA, quickness can be so deadly, and I think it's true. Calderon sometimes is at the mercy of those faster point guards in the league, but he can really play. He does an awful lot of good things out on the floor. Well, the big thing is he's one of the top playmakers in the league. So he's got great court vision, accurate passing. He understands his teammates and their strengths and weaknesses. So always creating good shot opportunities for his club.
And that's not all there is to say about him, Steve. I mean, he also is a master of the pick and rolls. Get the ball in his hands and set a screen for him, and there will be an easy bucket after it.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter.
It was a rough year for the Mavs and their fans. The first time since 2012 the Mavericks found themselves out of the playoffs. So big reason why was they couldn't get the wins they needed on the road.
And back to the Mavs, 17-24 record on the road. You know, Steve, their struggles as the visiting team, you know, one of the reasons why they were only a 500 team on the season at 41-41.
And even though going 500 isn't a bad year for most, it is when you're the Dallas Mavericks and you're used to playing in the postseason. This was the first time in a long time, in forever, that the Mavs didn't end up in the playoffs.
1:22 left in the first quarter. Randolph passes to Conley. Memphis moving it around. He dishes it to Randolph, and that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach of the Grizzlies. A key concern for his side is how to keep Monte Ellis from running amok on their defense. He said there are very few players in the league who can take a sliver or a seam in a defense and turn it into 2 points as efficiently as Monte Ellis does. He said one step and he's at the rim. We have to move our feet as a unit or he'll get to the rim all game long. Guys?
All right, Doris. Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Brandon Wright's checked in for Dalembert. And Jake Crowder's subbed in for Monte Ellis.
Looks like he's trying to find a groove in this game. Just hasn't had it dialed in yet.
Harris with it. Conley picks him up. And right, here we go. They get a hand on it. Harris nailed from three-point land. Harris has got himself on the board with 3 there.
They're really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
And they've been on fire offensively as a result, Clark. How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away. And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Gasol, guarded by Wright. The shot's good from Gasol.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Harris kicks to Carter. Now the dish to Nowitzki. The Mavericks have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And that one falls for Nowitzki. And so Nowitzki nails both of them.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
Here's Randolph. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And the second free throw, good. Now here's Ellis. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Michael Conley. Randolph gets to Gasol. And he gets off the fast break with a monster slam.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfectly.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Mavericks ahead. They're up by 8. We'll get right back. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And they're also showing some muscle here in the first half, finding a lot of points in the paint area.
Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Brandon Wright. Nowitzki with the steal. Back to Harris. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. That's 7 points for Devin Harris.
Dirk Nowitzki, he can dish the rock, too.
And the basket by Harris.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies, be physical.
You know, the Mavs, like many teams, always aware of who the free agents are that might help them become better. And prior to last season, they made sure they got their finances in order to make a run at Darren Williams to bring him home to Texas. Didn't work out, but they did the same thing this last offseason.
The finish, and it's Davis finishing it off.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, the Mavericks have been a terrific franchise. Since the turn of the century, 11 straight 50-win seasons, third longest streak in NBA history, culminating all with that NBA championship in 2011. But as much success as this team has enjoyed, it's also shown a restless eye, unusually willing to part with great players, whether Steve Nash or Tyson Chandler. And with the Mavs of late unable to attract the top free agents with their cap space, some fans might be left wondering if perhaps they should have danced with the ones who brought them. Guys?
Interesting, Doris. Thanks. And for the Mavs, they know that in order for them to remain competitive and not go through a traditional rebuilding phase where they're going to finish, at the bottom for a few years, Steve, they're going to have to lure some free agents.
And one way or another, their top brass has always made sure that they would be able to move contracts around and make an offer to whatever big-name player was out there. But think about it. The last 2 years, they had unlimited cap room, unable to lure that big free agent fish to Dallas.
Devin Harris is checked in for Dallas. The drive by Ellis. And the dunk to finish it off. Ah, beauty. Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
That's a mammoth dunk for someone who's far from the biggest guy out there on the floor.
Yeah, perhaps that'll give them the boost they're looking for to get out of the hole here.
Yeah, it should. I mean, if that doesn't fire them up, I don't know what will.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Stolen by Michael Conley. And now the Grizzlies fast break. Finished off the break. Conley's got his first points in this one.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
And the powerful one-handed slam.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yeah, you got that right.
Some nice passing there by Memphis. A nice shot by Pondexter.
That's pretty much been the norm for them, getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Dallas shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, it seems like they're getting a little fat and sassy here, complacent in the second quarter.
Fat and sassy. Come on, Clark. I mean, we're seeing their free throw attempts diminish, but I don't know about calling them fat and sassy. That seems kind of harsh.
Dallas making a switch here. Arians checked in. The Grizzlies shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And this club shot 77% as a team last year. Good, not spectacular, but solid.
You know, Kevin, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
The Mavericks leading. Ellis goes in, and he uses the glass on the layup. Ellis has got his second bucket.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but he still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight, and the first one drops. And Memphis making a change here. Both shots good from the stripe. About 3 minutes played so far in this second quarter. With 4 seconds on the clock. Here's Dallenberg. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And the first half ends in a close one.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Thanks for joining
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given to the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Looking at the game for Harris, 9 points and 1 steal.
Boy, he's been so good both offensively and defensively, Clark. I'm not sure which way he's been better.
I don't think he's missed a beat at either end.
Here's Gasol, and finally they hit one. Gasol's got the first bucket of the third here for the Grizzlies. And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession.
For the majority of his career, Marc Gasol has been referred to as the other Gasol. But last season, you can make that case that he surpassed his brother Powell in terms of impact on the court.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Tony Allen. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Calderon. And the layup's good off the glass. Calderon's got 7. And Marc Gasol, a little bigger than his older brother Powell, very comfortable at the center position, whereas Powell is a little more of a tweener. They're both obviously so incredibly skilled.
They sure are. I mean, both Gasol's able to play in the high post as passers or jump shooters or down on the low block, and where they can use their array of offensive skills. Pretty impressive to see 2 players like that coming out of the same family.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
No doubt, Kevin, a stressful summer for Monte Ellis. He turned down an extension from the Milwaukee Bucks that would have amounted to $36 million over 3 years. When the offers didn't come fast and furious, he fired his agent. He ended up taking a deal with the Mavs for 3 years, $30 million. 5 of that in incentives. Guys, at least he's close to home. Dallas, a 6-hour drive from his hometown of Jackson, Mississippi.
Good point, Doris. Thanks.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Little over a minute gone here in the second half.
You know, the talk around the Grizzlies about moving has been around for a while, but a new ownership group came in and put that to rest. And one of the first things they did after buying the team was say, hey, the Grizzlies are here for at least 15 years.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And as a fan of the Grizzlies and as a fan of the NBA, you like hearing that the Grizzlies being tagged to stay in Memphis for another decade and a half, Steve. That's good news for everybody.
Yeah, it is. This is a great city, a fan base that really supports its team, and the Grizzlies have turned into an excellent franchise. So let's hope that there's another couple of successful decades at least here in Memphis for the Grizzlies.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Conley into the lane. Count the bucket. Conley's got 6 points. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession. Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
Well, now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
The Grizzlies trail by 5. Allen gets to Conley. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
Tayshaun Prince has been a Piston his whole career, guys, and I thought he might end his career there. But last season, he was shipped over to Memphis to replace Rudy Gay. And it's been a hand-in-glove fit because of the blue-collar style of Memphis, and that's kind of how Prince plays, especially at the defensive end.
And both free throws good for Prince. And Tayshaun Prince, a low-mistake player offensively and defensively.
Yeah, he doesn't turn it over offensively. He can actually play some point forward because of his ball handling ability. And defensively smart. He doesn't gamble. Just uses those long arms to keep you away from the hoop and challenge your shot.
Allen drives in. Feeds it to Randolph.
Hey, you really can't say the Mavericks were a bad team last year. They were just a little below par compared to what we've been accustomed to. They just were not nearly as deadly offensively, and that's always a recipe for struggles in the West.
He hits both from the stripe. And for the Mavs against the rest of the West, as you were just talking about, Clark, they went 24-28 against the rest of the conference. And while that is all right, Steve, it's not going to get you into the playoffs.
Not with the depth of this conference, Kevin. And I think you have to be at least 500 this year against the West to get in. The Mavs know this, and they've been a perennial playoff team for a long time. They just couldn't quite get everything together last season.
Ellis goes in. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but threw the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Monte Ellis has never been short on confidence, and last year he went as far as comparing himself to Dwayne Wade, saying the only difference between them is that Wade has rings. That's a pretty big difference, though.
And Ellis drops them both. And you talk about the talent and confidence for Monte Ellis. Steve, what's the balance between confidence and like overconfidence?
Well, I think the balance is in your decision-making, and that's the trickiest thing for really talented young players to figure out. It's just when to attack and when to back off a little bit. And that's all stuff that just comes with experience. It should be the last possession of the quarter if they play it right.
And if their clock management's good, it will be.
Great job capitalizing on that steal and getting the easy points in transition.
Exactly how it should be done after a turnover.
He'll take his third and fourth free throw shots of the game right here. Free throw good, Ellis. Mavericks making a switch here. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Conley with the three.
Wow! Much in the clutch to finish the quarter.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And here are the Mavericks now. Harris kicks to Carter. Dishes it to Marion. Dallas making a switch here. Gallenberg's checked in. Now off the inbound. And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession. Now Conley. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Devin Harris. That'll be his second foul of the game.
First team foul.
And stolen by Harris.
He's got to know better than that. A pass like that is going to wind up as a turnover more often than it does a basket, that's for sure.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Mavericks.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen. Oh, man, that was unreal. Mark it up.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
Here's Calderon. He's checked in for Devin Harris.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Calderon, that's good.
Nice work there in the paint. He has really established himself inside.
For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. And Bayless gets to Conley. And Vince Carter picks up a foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Ellis comes in for Vince Carter. Conley with the 3. Mavericks with the rebound. Now Calderon drops in the layup for 2. Calderon's got 4 points this quarter.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
And it's Conley penetrating. Stolen by Ellis. Conley against Marion. And that one's good. Now it's a 4-point Maverick lead.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
I love it when a player like this shakes off a poor first half and comes back strong like he has, showing a lot of confidence in his game.
Nowitzki drives in. That's good. And the Mavericks lead by 3.
They are owning the lane right now. Every one of their last 10 points has come either at or near the rim.
Great looks in tight because they're finding lanes to the hoop whenever they want it.
And here's Conley outside. Knocked loose.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
It's good.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
For Memphis, they've gone 3 of 6 in the field so far in the fourth quarter. Into Marcus All. Good! What a beautiful shot to pull him to within 3.
And he continues to knock down shot after shot. A perfect shooting day for him so far.
Nowitzki dishes to Calderon. Some solid defense from Randolph.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Here's Conley. It's hauled in by Nowitzki.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Ellis can't get it to go. Memphis has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. This all no good. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
And here is Prince.
And a chance here to send it into overtime.
Need a 3.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yep, you got to extend the game here. Try to keep that clock from moving.
Gives the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
Well, that's going to be it. Great work at the charity stripe. That'll close this game out.
Five seconds left in the fourth. Conley. The Grizzlies with another miss. And so it's Dallas winning this one. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew.